Today we're going to talk about how to start a repair shop. And so the repair shop can be a mechanic shop, or it could be a body shop, right? So most technicians, auto body or mechanic technicians, have this dream of one day opening a shop of their own, right? Well, a lot of times, you know, they make the transition from a technician to a shop owner, but they go into owning a shop without the right information. And so I speak of this because I experienced that whole transition, and believe me, it was very stressful just trying to figure out what I needed to do to have a business. It took me years to figure it out. So what I did was I went ahead and made some notes here of everything that I wanted to share, and I got five main things that I'm gonna share with you. But I'm probably gonna add a bunch of stuff to it, so it's gonna be like a bonus, right? Because once I start getting into a topic, I don't want to leave anything out, so I'm gonna like add something to it. I already know I am, because I just want to make sure that I add so much information so that you understand it and you can kind of get the idea of what needs to happen for you to transition from a technician to a shop owner, right? So let's start with number one. So what type of shop do you want to open? Well, of course you want to open them. It's either going to be a mechanic shop or a body shop, right? But what kind of repairs do you want to do? Because what I've seen happen in the past is whether it be a body shop or a mechanic shop, they just say, you know what, I'm just going to take whatever comes. Like, so if someone wants to drop off a brake job, I'm going to do it. If someone wants to drop off an engine rebuild, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the transmission. I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm just gonna get everything, right? And we think that by doing that, we're gonna have more work and we're gonna have more income, right? But a lot of times it actually is gonna cost you money because you're not prepared to. You don't have the proper equipment to do those different things. So it's gonna cost you more time, and if it costs you more time, it's gonna cost you more money, right? So look, make a decision if you're going to go into the mechanic shop. Are you going to do minor repairs, or are you going to focus on major repairs? Because in order to really thrive with the shop, you have to be consistent with one. And what I mean by that, if you're going to be like a quick turnaround shop where you can do brakes, you can do oil changes, you can do tune-ups, minor stuff, you're not going to do a whole engine rebuild, right? So if you could stay with the minor stuff, it's going to really help your business. So stick with the minor stuff or go with the major stuff. Whatever you specialize in, to stay in that in your area, right? That also carries with the body shop, right? So if you're going to open a body shop, you have to decide, okay, do I want to do heavy hits or do I want to stay doing minor hits, right? Because the thing with heavy hits, yes, they're big money amounts, but the time that it takes to get those done, it really, if you do the math, it doesn't really add up too well, because you're spending a lot of time on that job. And now with these vehicles, everything is so delicate and prices are so expensive on parts. If you break something or if something's missing, you're gonna have to be buying extra trims. Parts are gonna get missing, stuff is gonna get broken, the vehicle might get scratched just for being there so long, right? So start by doing that. So tip number one is gonna be decide what your niche is going to be. I guess you could say, what's your targeted niche for repairs? Is it going to be minor or major, right? Number two is going to be time management. So a lot of times whenever a technician goes into a shop owner position, they fail to manage their time. And a technician with a new business owner, they go in, they might go in early, and right when they get to work, to the office or to their shop, they just start working in the shop. They start, fixing cars all day. They're just fixing cars, and so they neglect the office work. What happens with that is whenever you neglect the office work, the business is not going to grow. Paperwork's not going to be done right. You're probably going to be screwed up on your taxes. You're going to have invoices everywhere. Some stuff is not going to be properly invoiced. And this is a big mistake. If you're the only one trying to do everything, there might be some jobs that you do that you fail to get work orders, or you fail to get signatures, authorization forms, and you might not get paid on those jobs because you failed to do your paperwork right. So time management for any shop is going to be very important, especially if you're going to open a body shop. The reason why with a body shop is because there's a lot more things that go into running a body shop than there is a mechanic shop. So, for example, with a body shop, remember, you're going to have to do estimates. You're going to have to do supplements. You're going to have to order parts. You're going to have to track material cost. Okay, so this stuff requires a lot of time. So you have to be prepared to say, okay, you know what? I got to make sure that I'm managing my time right so that I'm on track. Because what tends to happen in the body shop industry when technicians transition to shop owners is they lose a lot of money because they're not doing the office work properly. The paperwork in the office is done poorly, and so they leave a lot of money on the table with jobs because they miss supplements, they miss extra parts they have to put, and so it'll really cost you money, right? So number 2 is going to be time management. Number 3 is going to be location, okay? And so most technicians that I've known that transition to a shop, they always want to find the cheapest shop. They always want to find, what's the cheapest shop I can get? Or they'll get a good sized shop, and before long the shop becomes a storage unit. And so they'll start to store people's cars there. They'll just have projects there. And you've probably seen this. If you've been in a dirty shop, you've probably seen a shop that's probably like maybe 3,000 square feet, 5,000 square feet. But there's only space for like a couple cars to work because they have so much junk. Okay, the way to maximize your shop is to think of every place you can put a car is money, right? So every square foot, whether it be the outside or the inside, every place that you could park a car has a dollar amount on it, okay? And whenever you store a car there, whenever you're storing your friend's car there, whenever you're storing a project there, whenever you have a pile of junk there, that space is costing you money. It's kind of like a grocery store, right? If you go to a grocery store, every space has something for sale because every square footage of that store makes money. So you have to think the same whenever you're running a shop. Everywhere you can put a car has a dollar amount, and the way you determine the dollar amount is going to be your average repair cost. How do you get your average repair cost? The way you get your average repair cost is, let's say for example, in 3 months, okay, you did 30 cars, right? So you get 30 cars and you divide them. You divide that by 3 months, okay? So let's just say for example, let's just say January, February, March, right? So January, February, March. You say you did in January you did 10,000. In February you did 15,000, and then in March you did 20,000, right? You add that up and then you divide it by 3. That's going to give you an average per month. Then you divide the number of cars you did that month, and it's going to give you an average repair per job. And so you want to know what the average repair per job is so you know how much that space is going to cost you. And whenever you figure that number out, whenever you see space that's available to put a car, you're going to think, okay, you know what? I can fill that spot and I can make another 3 or 4 grand. Okay, so space is going to be crucial. Location is going to be important because if you expect to grow your business and you expect to attract new clientele, new customers, you want to make sure they're going to go somewhere that they feel safe. You want to make sure that there's not a bunch of junk cars everywhere. You want to make sure that the shop is clean. You want to make sure that your location is key, because the thing with body shops and mechanic shop, they have this old kind of, I guess when people think of body shops or when they think of mechanic shops, they think of a dirty shop. They think of a dirty location. They think of something dirty, right? So in order to have a good, first impressions, you got to make sure your shop looks clean, it's organized, you have tools. Just make sure it's set up, right? So location is important. Equipment, okay? Before you're going to open a shop, just take a quick look to see what kind of equipment you're going to need. Are you gonna need a compressor? Are you gonna need water traps? Are you gonna need a lift? Are you gonna need an estimating system? Are you gonna need QuickBooks? Are you gonna need computers? Are you gonna need internet service? Because you're gonna need all this stuff to make your business function, right? So, for example, let's say if you're gonna do a body shop, okay? You're gonna need to do estimates, okay? So that means you're gonna need to have internet. That means you're gonna have to have an estimating system, all right? That means that you're gonna have to have some kind of QuickBooks. So all those services cost money, okay? So you have to take that into account, because if you think you're just gonna open a shop and just do everything, you know, by paper invoice, you can do that, but you're gonna lose a lot of money. You're gonna be losing a lot of money. You're gonna waste your time because you're not gonna be able to track exactly what you're making. So it's gonna be hard to tell if you're growing or not. It's gonna be hard to tell if this was a profitable month. And a lot of times, whenever we see money in our account, we assume that the business is making money, right? But that's not always the case. You got to make sure you break everything down and say, okay, you know what? Yes, I got paid for this big job, but how long did it take me? How much did we spend? Was it worth the time that I invested in that? Okay, so equipment is important. The last and important thing, number 5, is going to be banking. Okay, how are you going to be set up with your banking? Because if you expect to take debit cards, if you expect to do insurance claims, you got to be set up properly, right? For example, if you're going to open a body shop and you expect to start doing insurance claims, they're going to want to make that check out to the shop, okay? Because if not, they're going to make it to the owner, and the owner's going to try to endorse it to you, and then they're going to put a 7-day hold on it. It's going to hold up your money. So you got to be prepared for that, because a lot of people don't see that, okay? A lot of insurance companies are doing auto draft now. Are you going to be able to set up your account to auto draft, right? So there's a lot of little things you got to make sure you prepare first before you just decide to open a shop and do these things, because there's a lot of little stuff that doesn't really seem important, but it is important, because you'll lose a lot of money opening a shop. So hey guys, I hope this information was helpful. One more thing I'm going to add to this is whenever you're opening a shop, maybe you already have a shop, right? And you're figuring out, well, how can I grow my shop, right? I need more work to grow my shop. Well, there's a system. It's a profit system that it breaks down how to create a savings plan for your business. It's a very powerful formula that you can use to grow your business. And leave me some comments. I'll drop some information on that. I'll even drop a title of the book. The book is called Profit First. If you get a chance to read it, if not, I'll share kind of some stuff with you real quick. But the way it works, I'm gonna do a diagram here, okay? So let's just say this. Look, let's just say I'm gonna draw this out real quick. So let's just say you got paid $100. Let's just say $1,000, right? Okay, this is gonna be your profit account. I'm gonna share this with you. It's gonna be your operating account. It's gonna be your tax account, right? Okay, and so this is gonna be we'll just keep it simple, right? This is gonna be 80%, 10%, and then let's say take 10% here, right? Okay. So look, check this out. I don't know if you can see this there, but okay. So this is like the profit. This is a profit system. So this is gonna be individual bank accounts, right? So let's just say, for example, you get paid $1,000, right? So you get paid $1,000, right? Well, right when you get paid the $1,000, you're gonna put 10% in your profit account. You're gonna put 80% of that in your operating account, and you're gonna put 10% of that in your checking, in your tax. It's called a tax account. You can name these whatever you want, but every time you get paid, it doesn't matter if it's 10,000 or 100,000. You always want to drop something in each bucket, right? So just pretend like this is a bucket. Pretend like this is a bucket, and you're just gonna drop every time you get paid from a job. You're gonna drop money in each account, And you can start off small. You can start off doing like, you can start off with your operating account at 95%, and then you can do 2.5% and 2.5%. You can start off small. And the reason why this works is because there's an old analogy that says, if you drop a frog into boiling water, it's going to jump out, right? But if you put a frog and you slowly increase the heat, you'll eventually cook the frog, right? Because look, human nature is the same way. We don't like quick change. We don't like change. We don't like change at all. So what we have to do is we have to kind of trick our minds and to kind of build up the process. And the way we do that is we do this funnel system for your business. And what it does is slowly gets your mind trained to get into this routine of just dropping little amounts per paycheck, per job, or whatever, right? It's kind of like having that big barrel in your room, right? Whenever you get out of work, you drop the change in it. You drop the change in it. You drop the change in it. But at the end of the year, you look at it, you're like, man, there's like about $1,000 in there that I didn't even know. I just was dropping change in there, and it didn't seem like I was doing anything, but you actually made a big difference. It's called the compound effect. If you haven't read the book, it's a powerful book. But Profit System is definitely going to help your business thrive. It's going to set you apart from everybody else, because look, the thing with technicians that go into the business mindset, they don't have a lot of business skills. And I was in that position where I had zero business skills, right? And so I had to like start from ground up, and I had to educate myself with books and online classes and after school programs, and like I just went to school online and then after tutoring. But I wanted to increase my business skills because I wanted to grow my business. Okay, so number 5, like I said, was banking. And this is gonna be a bonus, man. This is gonna be a bonus. I just thought of it right now. It's gonna be invest in yourself. And what I mean by that, so like if you look online, if you look at the Small Business Administration in your local area, they have free classes. Like they'll have free marketing classes, free bookkeeping classes, free, a bunch of free classes that they're free to help small business owners, right? And it's gonna help you get familiar how to write a business plan, how to qualify for a loan, how to get contracts with government contracts, and they're free courses. I encourage you to go and educate yourself, because look, if you really want to be successful in going from a technician to a shop owner, you got to invest in yourself. You got to get yourself out of the technician mindset and get more into the business mindset. It's going to be very difficult at first, but over time you'll start to get familiar with what needs to happen, and you'll start to grow. And when you start to grow as a person, you're gonna start to see your business different. You're gonna start to see your business different as to say, okay, well, if I need something done, how can I delegate that to get someone else to do it? How can I learn to delegate? How can I learn to hire technicians? How can I learn to hire managers? How can I learn to build a team? Okay? So look, self-improvement is going to be very important. Invest in yourself. Hey guys, I hope this video was helpful. I wish you much success. Hey guys, if y'all need anything, reach out to me. Leave me a comment. Add me on Facebook or Instagram and just drop me a message if I can help out with anything. I get messages all the time with little, hey Stan, what do you think about this? How should I do this? And I'll share it, like, because I was once in that position where I was just looking for information. I was just looking for help. I was just looking for mentors, and it took me a long time to find people that I can trust. And so I actually had to pay a lot of mentors to teach me the stuff that I know today. But if I can help out with anything, I'm not going to charge anybody nothing. Just DM me. I'll share the information. Drop a comment if this was helpful. And if you want to hear a video about something else, just let me know. Say, hey Stan, can you make a video about this? Can you make a video about that? I'll share with you that. I'll even share, like, if y'all are interested, I'll make a video how we bought. It was a $45,000 paint booth. I'll share that video with y'all, how we bought this $40,000 paint booth, and stress-free, man. It was the best thing we've ever done. And it was pretty cool because when we bought it, it really made our shop stand out than everybody else's, because we had this massive powder coated drive-through paint booth, top of the line, and we'll get into that later, guys. But hey, thanks y'all for watching, man.